What's up YouTube, and welcome to my pickups video for the month of September 2025. This was not a month of a ton of travel. I did a quick personal trip to go up to Davenport, Iowa to see a concert. I'd been there before, but never for a concert before. And it was a quick turnaround because I had another concert the next night in St. Louis, and so just kind of a quick in and out. But there were a couple game stores there that I'd been to before, and then also a disc replay that had moved locations since the last time I've been up there, so I was able to hit all those. And got a couple things from that trip, and then really the rest of the month was spent around the local area. There wasn't any other travel going on this month too much. But I do have some things to look forward to in October, and the Portland Retro Gaming Expo is coming up in a couple weeks, and I'll be traveling out to that once again. So I'm sure I should be saving my gaming budget for that, and hopefully did a good job in September by keeping it pretty mild with my pickups. There is one theme, though, that you are going to see throughout this video, is that everything I bought is ninja related. I absolutely love ninja action games, and was definitely awarded with a bounty of those this month. So we'll talk about those as I get into it. So the first thing I picked up is the, this came from Limited Run, it just showed up, I ordered it months ago, is Shinobi, what is it, Art of Vengeance, I couldn't remember the subtitle, the latest Shinobi title that has been developed by Lizard Cube, which is the same company that made the Streets of Rage 4 remake, or new game in the series. So not like true Sega authentic teams or anything like that working on this, as it is a European developer, I believe. But it's solid. If you haven't seen, I made a video of my whole Shinobi series collection, where I think I have at least one of every release in the Shinobi series, including the 2 arcade games. So it's kind of neat to add this to the collection that obviously wasn't a part of that video when it wasn't released yet. But game is very, very stylish. I think there's a lot to praise with some of just the things that they came up with for the design. It's kind of talky. Like, I don't really need that from a Shinobi game. I mean, there's just a lot of just slow-moving plot in between the stages and things like that. I just prefer just quick ninja action games. I don't need a whole lot of dialogue, or I just need it to be presented in a different way, I guess. I think the one thing that probably is going to keep me from holding my attention in this long term is it just has a lot of combo moves that you need to be able to master to succeed in this game. And frankly, like with my pick up, play it, and then put it away for a couple weeks and pick it up again style of gameplay, that's tough to remember all those whenever I'm in the moment and like picking the game up after a couple week pause. So we'll see how this one pans out overall long term. I wouldn't say like it's one of my favorite Shinobi games by any means. I honestly think it would have done just fine just releasing it as a new Ninja series game without even the Shinobi branding. I probably would have liked it maybe even a little bit better, but I have the history of all the Shinobi titles that I've liked so much over the years that kind of like hyped me up a little bit too much for this game, I would say. So nice to have it, but probably won't be something I return to super long term over time. And I'll tell you why, is because soon after I got that, I got distracted by a newer release, which I can't remember exactly when the release date was for this, but I found it on the trip to Iowa in one of the game stores up there, is the latest Ninja Gaiden game, Ninja Gaiden Ragebound. I am a huge fan of the Ninja Gaiden games on the NES. Love that series. You know, there is dialogue in those games, but I just think it flows well. The story's interesting, the cutscenes, and all the way it's presented. When Ninja Gaiden went 3D, it kind of lost me. I mean, I bought the original Xbox game when it first came out, and I was super hyped about it, but it just didn't really hold my attention because I want 2D fast action, ninja action games. So I know there is a new Ninja Gaiden 4 coming out, if it's not out already, but this is what I really was interested in, is a return to the 2D roots style game, you know, that reflects the series well. So I think that this developer, .emu, did a really nice job with this. I know, again, it's not like truly the classic Tecmo team that put together the originals on Team Ninja, but I think they understood the source material more effectively than what we saw with the Shinobi release, and it really does play fast and stylish. A little bit more authentic, I guess, vintage graphics in this than what you see with Shinobi. And they also did some things that I thought were just nice from a fan tribute standpoint. So when you get the manual, it actually is presented in a way that represents the original NES games, like the art style and things like that, and the pages actually look like they're from an NES manual. So I thought that was a really cool touch. Definitely a nice harken back to people like me that have been playing the Ninja Gaiden series for 30 plus years or whatever it's been by this point, it feels like. So very happy to have this. I would say since I got it a week and a half ago, it's been getting a fair amount of my attention. It is very difficult, which it should be. It is very true to that. But this does have a lot of adjustable difficulties that you can mess with during the game, which kind of help make it a little bit more accessible for a modern audience. So I don't know if I'll beat this one. I mean, again, it's going to take a lot of effort, I can tell, just with the difficulty curve, but the bosses are interesting. The stages have just some really cool lighting effects. The story is somewhat relevant and interesting, I guess, and I like the character style and things like that. So far, of the two new Ninja releases, and I think it's crazy that both these series returned at the same time, essentially, this would be my recommendation, and I think you should definitely check it out. So, very happy to get this, and hopefully play it a little bit more going into the next month. So I only have one more thing to show this month. Like I said, it was pretty mild, and this also came from the Iowa trip, one of the independent game stores up there. They had, in their collector case, they had a NES game that I already have with my complete collection, but it had the manual with it, and I didn't have the manual, and I'm trying to go for a full set of those. And honestly, like, I think they just underpriced it. It wasn't, like, dirt cheap by any means, but it was well below market price, and then to include the manual, it was low enough that I could honestly just resell the cart and keep the manual and hopefully just get it for free. So I got Zen Intergalactic Ninja for NES, the manual for this. And the cart was actually in excellent shape when I bought it. That came with this, but when I got home, I found out my own personal cart was also in excellent shape. Like, they were almost a duplicate of each other. So put one of those on eBay. I'm going to sell it and then keep my other copy. And the manual is actually really nice as well. This was a weird kind of later release by Konami that is based on a comic book, I believe, series, which I've never read. And I think it was like all around the theme of like recycling, which was kind of hot in the early 90s, back when we cared about the environment for a little bit, or pretended to, which spawned some merchandising things like this and things like whatever the Sega Genesis version was that was kind of similar to this. So kind of neat. I remember playing this game a little bit when I first got it years ago. I don't remember a whole lot about it other than it was just a action platformer and kind of vaguely Ninja-y, but not like to the extent of those last two games I talked about. So I want to actually go back and play this a little bit more and see if I like it. This also came out as a Game Boy release at the same time, and so I've got the Game Boy version, and I can't remember anything about it either. And so I kind of want to return to that version and check it out also. But once I sell my extra copy of this, I think this manual is going to end up being free for me, which is nice because this is not exactly a cheap manual to have either, as this is one of the more expensive games that came out later in the NES life. So very happy to have that. And with that said, that was it. Ninjas are just my theme of the month, and I'm okay with that. I really like ninja games, and hopefully I can find some more that I'm looking for in my want list. So hopefully I'm going to have a lot of great finds to share with you next month when I come back for the Portland Con. I always seem to find all kinds of good stuff both at the con and in the market up in the Pacific Northwest. So kind of saving some money back to get ready for that, and hopefully be some pretty cool stuff to show. So thank you very much for watching. Please take a moment, like, comment, subscribe, let me know what you think, and I will talk to you soon. Have a great day or night, wherever you are.